But services that don't have consumers, well, they aren't really worth very much. And that's what we're going to look at next. What we're going to see now is what will the next generation of consumers of these mobility services look like. And I'm pretty excited to see that myself. So welcoming up to the stage now is Jeff Hanna, Director of North America of SBD Automotive, and some special guests. Jeff, come on up.
Because if I'm going to movies with my friends, I don't want my dad driving me and watching us.
I want to get a license, but I could deal without driving. There's always going to be buses or different things. I know friends are going to be able to drive me or other things like that.
For the job that I want, it would be really helpful.
The light says green and people are still there. Or jaywalking, and the car would still go. Or if it had sensors, I don't really know.
Could be a good idea for people that can't really drive, elderly that has disabilities. But also it could be a bad idea because it could go rogue and just go everywhere.
I think it's a pretty good idea because I think on trips you don't need to drive all the way, and it would be a better way of transportation for a lot of people.
I'm too used to watching my family put gas in their cars, so it's kind of a thing that I want to do because I find it simple.
I heard electric cars are better for the environment, and I think it would be a really cool way to help the earth, and I think they function pretty similar to a regular car. Maybe sort of an autonomous bus, or maybe they'll still have school buses.
I think it'll still be a school bus, but I think there'll be some modifications so it has better gas mileage or different, so it's safer.
Thinking kind of the same way, because there can be technology that advances, but I don't really know anything that could advance that much in 10 years. Oh, we might have flying cars then.
I don't really know. It's just that they're strangers and I don't really know them or where they could take me.
Around here, I don't think I will. But if I travel to a city, maybe I will.
Yeah, in case I go to somewhere with somebody and then they have to go home or something, or they lose their car or something.
Well, if I live in a busy place, I would use that for transportation, and it would be helpful so I don't need to drive.
If I have my own car, then I'm going to use it, because then my mom would yell at me.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Hanna. I direct the North America office of SPD Automotive, and I want you to prepare to go back to school. So we've got a really exciting session for you planned. I'm here to introduce my guests from the Girls Academic Leadership Academy here in downtown Los Angeles. And SPD Automotive is a global automotive technology research company. We work with OEMs and their partners on their connected car, autonomous car, and secure car strategies. So why kids? Why does it matter? And I was doing some homework for the presentation, and 50 years back, researchers in the UK turned to kids, shot a great video in 1966, and lo and behold, the kids got it right. The kids accurately predicted that we might be statistics, global warming, rising sea levels, genetically modified foods, and if we don't listen to kids, we're not going to be able to know the future. So really, for my message for all of you, before we turn it over to these superstars, is ignore them at your own peril. Kids have a lot of questions. We have a lot of industry questions about where automotive, where transportation is going. And really the Gen Z generation, so the generation after millennials, by next year will be the largest buying and influencing population in the United States. These middle school children, I've got 7th graders here, will be your customers in 5 years. So all these companies up here talking about technology in 5 years, 10 years, the target market is not new vehicle intenders 54 years old, but it's these guys right here. Once we have autonomous cars, that means everyone in the car is created equal. It's not drivers and folks in the past seat. Everybody matters. And I'll point out that scooters were first a toy for kids before they were billion-dollar startups. And the world's cheapest focus group is talking to your children. So we did a couple of research questions heading into today's session with a few middle schools throughout the country. 5 quick takeaways. Number 1, kids still want to get their driver's license. Number 2, even in Los Angeles, it's not a given kids will want to own cars. And thirdly, kids are really charged for electric vehicles. We asked, would you want a gas-powered car, solar or EV? EV far and away number 1, solar 2, gas-powered, the small minority. And when it comes to autonomous cars, yes, they want them. 80% of the children said, yeah, I'm comfortable with an autonomous car, but I want some level of control and be willing to drive it. And finally, sharing is not for everyone. So they're not convinced that ride sharing and car sharing are necessarily the future. But I've certainly done enough talking. I want to turn it over to our guests here on the stage. And I'm going to ask each one of them to introduce your name and your grade. And I'm going to ask them a few questions.
Hi, my name is Julissa, and I'm in the 7th grade.
Hi, my name is Taya, and I'm in the 7th grade.
Hi, my name is Monica, and I'm in the 7th grade.
Hi, my name's Raquel, and I'm in the 7th grade.
Excellent. So, yeah, can we get a round of applause for these guys up here? They came down on a school day, and their principal and district was nice enough to let them come down and share their insights with all of you. So we talked in the survey about whether people will want to own a car when they're older. I'm going to ask each one of you, when you're 16 or when you can get your license, do you think you'll own a car? So maybe we'll start on the end, and I'll have each of you answer. And why or why not would you want to own a car?
I think I would want to own a car because I have friends who live kind of further away than if I were to just walk there or even take a bird or a lime there. So I think I would definitely want to be able to have the power to drive myself places.
I think I would want a car just because some places aren't walking distance, or you can take a bus there. So if I didn't want to take an Uber or Lyft, I could probably just take a car.
Okay. How about you guys?
Personally, I believe that I would want a car in the future, but I believe that I will also want to use other modes of transportation, such as Lyft, Uber, or taking the bus.
I would want a car because it is very easy to go from point A to point B, but I also feel like I want something that is better for the environment.
Those are some great points. So we've talked a lot about this conference around self-driving or autonomous cars. So this idea that you could just get in and the car drives itself. So maybe I'll start on the end. And what do you think about this idea of a car driving itself or driving autonomously?
I think it is cool. And it is a very good idea, but I would also want some control over the car as well in case something goes wrong or anything. I would also want to be able to drive it.
Self-driving cars are a new idea, and I think they're very interesting. And should be in the future of transportation, but I also believe that cars that drive themselves would not be safe for everybody. If something happens and it loses control, it could cause many problems for passengers and people in other cars. So I believe self-driving cars would be useful, but I still think that we should have control over them.
I think self-driving cars are a very good idea, and I can see the point of it, but it just seems like it's a way to really hurt yourself or the people around you.
I think self-driving cars are a good idea because people can then interact with each other more, and there isn't one person just focusing on the street, and they can interact with the passengers, but it could also be dangerous. So I feel that if we had self-driving cars where you could still operate the car on your own in emergencies, that would kind of be like the ideal version so that there isn't too much danger of something going wrong.
So when we were talking before this session, we talked about things like Uber and Lyft and even things like Bird and Lime scooters. So have you experienced Uber or Lyft, or have you seen people riding around on these new types of shareable scooters?
Yeah, I have. And I think with Uber and Lyft, it's really nice because you get to meet new people and have new experiences. And maybe the person that you're in the car with is someone you can interact with more than you would have if they were driving. So I think it's a nice experience to get to take an Uber or a Lyft.
I think the Uber and Lyft is a really good idea because sometimes people don't have cars or they can't take other modes of transportation. So it's just like if they needed to take an Uber or Lyft, it's just there.
How about you guys?
Uber and Lyft are very useful, especially for people who don't own cars themselves. They're a way to get from point A to point B fast without having to take the bus or ride a bike there. And I think they're extremely important in today's society.
Now, didn't you say you took Uber a couple of times a week? How does that work?
Yes. Instead of going straight home from school on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go to dance. And instead of having my parents pick me up in their car and take me, I go to dance with my dance teacher, who also works at my school, who doesn't own a car herself. And we either take the bus, but a lot of the times we take Uber or Lyft back to her house on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes, I have used Uber before. I think it is very efficient because in some situations you may not have a car, and that's a way to get to where you need to go. And also, if you're in a very busy area, you can't find parking or anything, so that would be great.
That's great. So a lot of the folks in the audience are designing future transportation systems or future cars. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to maybe share some of your advice on what you would like to see either when you grow up or what you would like to see different about cars or transportation systems today. Who might want to go first? Okay.
In cars in the future, a lot of the new models these days are getting bigger because there's more technology in it and bigger technology, so the cars can go faster and are more intricate. But I also think that we should work on not getting technology bigger but getting it smaller, because a lot of the problems with cars is that you can't park everywhere because you need a big parking spot, or if you have a garage, it's hard to fit your car. So I think if we take technology and try and make it smaller, but use it better and not waste as much energy that it could potentially use to go back into the car, that would be great.
How about somebody else? Yeah.
I think I'd like to see more electric cars in the future, or cars that don't run on gas power, so that they could be better for the environment.
I would like to see older cars with electric motors, so that it's just a simple car that is not like ruining the environment, or like it's just very simple.
I would, like Raquel said, I would like to see more electric cars that are better for the environment. Because of global warming, our Earth is going through something right now, and we need things like electric cars that are better for us and the environment.
Excellent. So all of you, if you've noticed some of the pictures behind us, sixth graders at the Gala School and a school in Michigan, we asked them to imagine what mobility would look like in 2028. So those are some of the pictures you're seeing in the background. And I think we're right at amount of time here. So I'd like to get a big hand from all of you for our guests from the Gala School today. Excellent job. Great job.